Within this secondary matrix in which we find ourselves, time has a linear interpretation from beginning to end, from past to present, and from present to future. This illusion of temporal continuity gives us the appearance of having a history, a reason why we are physically in one place or another, a sense of what we call life, our age, and finally, the illusion that we are born, that we grow, we develop, we relate with each other, we age, and ultimately, we die. This linear interpretation of time is apparent to us based on the moment our experience in the matrix begins. However, this doesn't mean that other past or future scenarios cannot exist simultaneously in the general experience of the matrix. The reality is that each day that begins is the only thing that exists and has always existed in our experience, as everything else is a memory imprint in our minds that gives meaning to our previous story. Let's imagine we have a video game console and we acquire a life simulation game like The Sims. If we wanted to play this game, what should we do? Firstly, turn on the console, select The Sims game, and the game will appear on the screen to continue from where we left off the last time we saved the previous game in the memory bank, considering the size of the city we had developed, the streets, the elements of the game, the characters, etc. So each time we wake up, we recall our previous memory with the experience acquired during the game in the Matrix, and we find ourselves using our avatar within this simulated reality. This refers to where we are physically, with whom we are, our name, physical appearance, our family, and everything that can justify our existence when we wake up to life every day.
People wake up every day here. And the moment they do, they remember their shackles. They're prisoners, and they don't even know it. Anyone can see it.
The timelines within the Matrix are pre-established scenarios with the necessary information to render the scenario according to the selected era, whether perceived as past, present, or future. But if we were in a past timeline, it would be our present, and the same situation would apply to future timelines. However, the entire time block is rendered simultaneously and divided into sub-levels or years within it. As already explained, the energy of a source player is divided to experience different timelines in different renders of the Matrix.
You have got to be kidding me. That can't be.
You're not gonna believe this.
A strange marking on his left wrist with a small point on his forehead. This has got to be a joke.
Wait.
What is that?
1941. Strange markings on the left wrist. And naked as the day he was born.
You don't quite remember what happened.
I created the TVA.
Something like that. You created an entity.
You created me. I am a fully conscious and sentient artificial intelligence entity, and we work together at the end of time.
We got to the man at the end of time. I know what kind of god I need to be. The devil. Maybe he was. This is his kingdom. He built this place.
Which resulted in the creation of new timelines, which would each see the rebirth of countless different versions of you.
Time is everything. It moves through each and every one of us. It shapes our lives, our futures. But perhaps we can shape it. Time is energy. When the energy of the past, present, and future flows all around us. Fine threads of power, elegant ropes of voltage.
It's the energy that's generated from the central battery. Its power comes from the will of every living creature in the universe. The Guardians harnessed will because it's the strongest source of energy in the universe.
To power the entire planet! Call it a dream. But if it can be dreamed, it can be achieved.
Oh, how would I not remember that? Because he wiped your memories. And he obviously did it more than once.
I know this must be overwhelming. If it's too much for you.
No, it's like the story of myself that I always imagined is true.
It's time for you to see, to believe. Touch it if you like. That's it. They won't bite. As I said, we need you to believe it.
Believe what?
We all have a role. Temporal displacement. One splits into multiple states of time.
Now, as you can see, the particle splits into two in perfect symmetry, backwards and forwards, just as likely to go 1 second into the past as it is 1 second into the future. But what blows even the most open mind is observing the result seems possible at both ends. There are now two particles, one in the past and one in the future, and yet the superposed system has not collapsed.
For each timeline experienced, every day would be the present, regardless of whether that timeline is perceived as past or future by a source player experiencing a different timeline. One timeline can affect another one in real time.
You know about the timekeepers and...
That's what's been happening.
Wow, time slipping.
Do I know you?
Yes, in the future. Well, it's your future. My present. It's complicated. I've been pulled through different times.
Time slipping.
That.
The player's memory must be immediately updated, creating coherence in the overall Matrix story. This way, the perception of reality remains meaningful and linear in appearance.
I know it looked like your friend was time slipping, but it must have been something else because I've never seen anything close to that happen before. Wait. No. There was one time, that guy that was here, a long time ago, he came to me complaining about time slipping. How did I not remember that?
Wait, is he talking to you in the past and you're just now remembering it?
Wow, that makes perfect sense.
You remember.
What did you tell him?
I told him that's impossible.
It's not impossible because I was just with you in the future.
I think I will remember that.
Yes, but it hasn't happened to you yet. Do you see?
Good point. It sure would be more convenient if we were having this conversation in the future and this were the past.
We were. This is the... Never mind.
The primary timeline for a player is the one the player is experiencing in their apparent life.
The sacred timeline.
And all other past or future timelines would be secondary.
The temporal loom is a failsafe. Overloaded with branches, it deletes the ones that aren't supposed to be there. And as you may or may not know, my variants are already out there.
Let's consider this diagram shown in previous videos. The same source fractal can simultaneously experience different timelines. The DNA is the soul cage containing the energies of the source player, and that soul cage DNA is assigned to different characters within the timelines of the general matrix render.
My body split and divide in one singular moment. There is no science.
Now, let's assign different clones and pods for each timeline to experience.
That's where the loop begins, where he creates the timeline of his own existence.
This man is called Sir Julian Harker. Was taken in 1890. He died in 1941. He was 99 years old. These are Harker's fingerprints. And these are your fingerprints. They're identical.
The consciousness or perception of reality appears to be linear in each experienced timeline, from birth to the character's death, being reassigned to the next timeline once that character dies, and so on. This situation is known as reincarnation, which is nothing more than the start of a new timeline every time we fail to win the game and exit it.
Let's go a little faster this time.
This time?
Time is of the essence. Again. Again.
Again.
I wasted time, and now does time waste me?
Again.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Again.
I guess I wanted to believe that the human spirit was a partner in the eternal ebb and flow, not just an illusion.
You think everything's predetermined?
It depends on the millions of factors and forces that have already happened to you that you're blissfully unaware of.
Not to let anybody know the truth. Not until the time is right.
What truth?
Free will does not exist. It's an illusion.
None of this is real. I mean, who even are you on the timeline? Do you know? Doesn't matter. I think it does matter because none of this is real.
Well, okay.
They took us. You know they took our lives and you're still here. I mean, it's kind of weird, man. I mean, you need to wake up.
Yeah, I'm awake.
Yeah, no, you're asleep. You need to wake
I'm awake.
up. And until you do, you're nothing.
And who do you think paved that road?
He who remains.
Bingo. Here you were, slipping through time, thinking you were sticking it to the system, gonna beat the man, and then whoop! Reincarnation, baby.
We die with the dying. We're born with the dead.
But the outcome to this equation remains the same. You lose.
Each time we've tried to stop the loop, we've failed.
Let's say we have a time block for the general matrix render from the year 1850 to 2100. This means that each time the game starts, the main frame of the matrix will have levels and scenarios from the year 1850 to 2100. This time block repeats indefinitely until there is a game reset, or what we know as a harvest. In this general time block, we have 3 different fractals to experience 3 simultaneous timelines, one starting in 1850, another in 1980, and the last in 2030. To start each life within the matrix, we must be born from a female character we call Mother. This character must be experienced by a fractal of a source player, because a source player can only be born and enter the game through another Source player's Matrix womb.
Hail, Lady Hawk, and know that you are loved.
Know you are loved.
Hail, Hayden Hawker. Know you are loved.
Know you are loved.
Give him to me.
In this example, we have a Source player mother born in 1850 experiencing her first timeline. This character marries a soulless character, and they have 4 children. 2 soulless, 1 entity, and 1 Source player. Since only Source players can be born from another Source player, let's fill out the family tree in a general way. A male Source player appears in the family according to a pre-established soul contract with the female character from the ascending line, who marries one of his soulless daughters, making his first appearance in the 1850 timeline. Now, let's fill out the family tree on the daughter's side, who married an entity in 1870. They have 3 children. 1 Source player daughter and 2 soulless sons. It's not until 1920 that the Source player granddaughter marries another Source player, providing an opportunity for the reincarnation of the character born in 1850. Let's fill out the family tree for the male Source player character from 1870, who couldn't have Source player children because his wife was soulless. However, this situation can change by including female Source players in the family who marry his descendants, fulfilling pre-established soul contracts, providing an opportunity for the reincarnation of the male character in 1980, born to a Source player mother.
The son begets the father. The father begets the son. We're building a world, a future that will be greater than anyone can imagine.
I know it because I built it. Hayden will grow up, and he'll have children. And their children will have children. And one of them will be my father. If I don't exist, then neither does our son. Do you understand? It's a loop with no beginning and no end.
This situation will repeat and complement according to established soul contracts until the general matrix render time block is complete. The loop of each life or experience begins again every time the character assigned to each timeline dies. Their memories are erased, and they are born again in any of the available timelines. The DNA is the same, but without the previous memory of the past life. The timeline in which a new experience begins is irrelevant, and this continues until there is a general game reset or harvest.
If you want to stop me, you'll have to kill me.
See you soon.
If you want to stop me, you'll have to kill me. If you want to stop me, you'll have to kill you,
I get it.
Every moment you've ever experienced was yours because I was here at the end of time. Keep it watch.
The perception of linear time is merely an illusion. The past affects the present, and the present affects the future. The perception of what we call past, present, or future depends only on the timeline in which our consciousness is focused, experiencing life. Everything happens simultaneously, on this day, now, not yesterday, nor tomorrow, only now.
Everything we did directly caused what has already happened.
This isn't the first time we've had this conversation.
Once you know the truth, it changes you. You can't stay the same.
What could we have done differently?
Good question.
So, what are you prepared to do about it?
Whatever it takes.
I'll change the equation.